All right, let's do some Mathity-Math. Okay, got two questions here, very similar. It says circle one. This refers to the x values of a function. Okay, so let's think about all our options here. And I know if you already know this, you can just go circle it, but it's good for us to take a second and think about what all these x values could be. So the x values in a function, the first thing we should think about is those are considered the input, okay, or the inputs, right? That's what you stick into the function, and you want to see what would come out, right? So that the x values could be the inputs. The x values are also considered to be the independent variables, okay? So you could also say they are the independent variables. Okay, that's the other option we talk about. And furthermore, x values are also called the domain of a function. So for now, when we think about x values, these are like our three options. It's what you put in. It is the variable that is independent. Often that is a time. That's a good independent one. And then we also call that the domain. So if you look up here, scope, range, sequence, domain, the answer would be D for domain. Okay, coming down here, this says this refers to the y values of a function. So let's again take a second here and look at some of these other ideas for y values. So if you stick in an x value called the input, whatever comes out, well, we call that the output. Okay, so that is the output. That's what we call that. This output can also look like this. You can call it f of x, that's the function of x, or that's like saying the function when x is inputted, and that tells you what the input is. Okay. Following this logical pattern, if the x values are the independent variables, the y values are what we call the dependent variables, and these variables are called dependent because they depend on whatever the x is, right? If I put this x in, this dependent variable will happen. If I put a different x in, something else will happen, but nothing happens until I put that in. So this depends on what we choose to stick in, or what we choose to input, or what x value we choose. And finally, all of these possible y values that we could use, well, we call that the range of the function. And that range is just referring to all of the y values that can work within that function, and the domain is all of the x values that work within that function. And there you go. All right. As always, you got some questions or need a clarification, or if I spelled a word wrong, let me know in the comments below, and I'll try to correct it. And if you like this Mathity-Math and you want to know when more Mathity-Math is coming your way, go ahead and feel free to subscribe. Thanks. Bye.